Hi guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Tuesday evening. Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 6:48 p.m.
Right guys, so it's nearly 7 o'clock. I've been sat in my flat for most of the afternoon and early evening. I watched a thriller film and I've watched a lot of auditing videos. So basically, yeah, I've been indoors all the time. So I took Max out for a walk this afternoon. I did a video when I came back in. There's been no post. It's been very, very boring, a bit tiresome, a bit also I've got to be careful with my electricity so I'm not having everything on. So I came back in, I cooked myself dinner, which was mashed potato with meat and beans. So I've had something to eat. I also had a jelly and raspberry dessert, so raspberries in jelly. So I've had food. Yeah, I've just been at home, unable to go out because I can't access my bank account, which has been a pain in the arse really. I mean, it's not because I haven't got any money. I got up to get ready to go somewhere Monday and I found out that I couldn't find my Barclays bank card. So I rang Barclays up first thing Monday to get a new card ordered and they told me it would arrive in 3 days and that or 5 days. 5 days initially, and the lady on the phone with a Liverpool accent or Manchester said to me, if you pay $1.99 you get it within 3 days. So the 3 days is tomorrow, but technically I've got to give it till Thursday. So we're just being careful with the electric because I order my electric, as I said, online. I pay for it online, so if I want to top up my electric by £15, I've been using my debit card and I can't use my debit card. And I need my debit card to access cash, so I can't take cash out either. So I'm just in a bit of a pickle at the moment, waiting for my bank card to arrive. I've actually searched, even though it's useless if I find it now, I haven't come across it anywhere, my blue Barclays bank card. I've been in every room and I can't see it anywhere, so maybe I lost it outside or something, or in a shop. I don't know, but I'm just waiting for a new card. There was absolutely no post at all today, nothing. A different postwoman, and that's life. That's the way the cookie crumbles, so to speak. You've just got to go with the flow. I'm getting ready to take Max out for a walk. Here he is, sat on my lap, my little bubba. We're just going for a walk and testing the new flashlight torch out that I got in the post yesterday. I have waved at somebody today. I've had several WhatsApp conversations with I don't know exactly who. People have texted me from TikTok. I haven't heard from my mum this afternoon, although she called me this morning and I phoned my mum back to check she was okay because I do worry about my mum. She's had men in there doing her bathroom out, but she didn't phone this afternoon. So usually she rings in the morning, in the afternoon and in the evening. So I haven't heard from her since this morning and I've just been getting weird messages on WhatsApp from, I don't know who it is. I was watching auditing videos and film and I just get this message from WhatsApp with a bald-headed man with glasses. Hello, would you like to have some fun? And he didn't look like he was heterosexual, put it that way. He didn't look like he was a heterosexual bloke. Because he's put a photograph up with a bare chest and him with glasses and a bald head, and I don't know what, I'm just saying, I don't think he was a heterosexual bloke looking for a woman, put it that way. So I didn't answer him. Then we haven't heard from the one that, the Kevin that was texted me yesterday, hasn't texted at all. And then we obviously had someone else, and that turned sexual as well. So you can't find anybody that just wants to go out for a chat, get to know you and have a coffee. So like I said, I'm waiting to go out, take Max for a walk, take the torch out, and just be wary of what's happening and what's going on, because I don't know what is going on, to be fair. The film I watched was about a woman's sister going missing, and she was actually went to a house to look for her, and she'd been killed and was put in a basket, and she was in the house where her dead sister had been murdered. It was quite a drama and a thriller. So on YouTube they do retro films, like they do black and white films from the 50s and the 60s, and they do 70s films. I was watching one last night. That was really, really frightening, and real to life as well. It was so scary. This guy was killing women. He was killing women and then leaving their bodies and sitting them on chairs. He was talking to them like they were alive. So you can access a lot of things on YouTube. You really can access a load of free films and things that date back from a long time ago. If you want to find things out, you just type it in YouTube and it usually comes up. That's what I've been doing. He's coming upstairs, I believe. I'm sure he has. He's probably been parked his car down the end flats. I don't drive, I don't have a car, so I'm just going to take Max for a walk. Tomorrow, it's literally waiting for my bank card to come, basically, because I can't do anything until I can get into my bank to get some money. Can't do anything. And my phone hasn't come. I ordered a phone and it hasn't come today. And normally I get alerts to my phone to say that your parcel is on its way. I haven't had any messages at all. It's been a funny day today. Different post lady, weird messages, no post at all. Just really weird. Nothingness. Alexa, exit YouTube. Is she listening to me? Yep, she is. I did enjoy blowing the rainbow balloon up, and it's still there, isn't it? It's still inflated, it hasn't deflated. My lights are on, and we shall watch another horror film this evening. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Veered as well, a bit like a shopping trolley from very left to a bit less left, but ultimately they're still changing their course based on the events that are happening. I think in terms of Conservatives and where it goes next in this conference, we at Onward host a debate on the future of conservatism, where we had Michael Gove, Tom Tugendhat, Nick Timothy, who works with us at Onward, used to work for Theresa May and is soon to be a Conservative parliamentary candidate, and several others as well. And what struck me from that whole debate is people do have clear views. They do want growth. And I think not everybody subscribes to Liz Truss's idea of how you get to growth. No, they do want a more productive economy, and they do realise that we've got some big challenges as a country, and we can't keep saying the old stuff. And we run, if I can do a tiny bit of self-promo, 30 events with 163 speakers at Onward at this conference, and that's to get into those debates, as have all the other think tanks. So I don't think the right is intellectually dead yet.
Not dead yet. Madeline, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that the biggest problem that Conservatives face right now is that they've traditionally had a reputation for being pragmatic and kind of getting things done. And there was such a feeling of chaos and dysfunction in society at the moment that I think that whatever they try to project and they try to say, until they have fixed these basic things, the basic functioning of the state, it's very, very difficult for them to set out their stall. I mean, I thought, although Suella Braverman's speech was very powerful, and I'm sure that the sentiments were actually being agreed with by a majority of the British public, perhaps not all of it, but that essential point, the fact is that while the numbers are so high, it's not going to land in the same way.
Madeleine, Sebastian, thank you both very, very much indeed. Really interesting. And as we've been discussing throughout the show, the Home Secretary took centre stage today and in her speech described a hurricane of migration which she says is coming. I spoke to the Immigration Minister, Robert Jenrick, and asked him which of their Conservative predecessors is to blame for not getting under control of that.
I feel that, and I think Suella would agree, that there were wrong choices taken when we left the European Union. By Boris Johnson and his administration, and that has led to far too many people coming into the country, and that we now need to correct those.
There you go, Boris Johnson's fault. You can listen back to that on the Tonight with Andrew Marr Whole Show podcast on Global Player, where you can also listen back to all the other LBC shows and rewind live radio. Download Global Player for free from your app store or visit globalplayer.com. Coming up at 10 on LBC, it's Ben Kentish, but right now it's Ian Dale.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Well, I came here to Manchester being told I'll be hearing how this Conservative government is taking long-term decisions for a brighter future. What I've heard is more culture war rhetoric from the likes of Suella Braverman, who says Britain's facing a hurricane of immigration and that Britain would go properly woke if Keir Starmer becomes Prime Minister. The Home Secretary also claims that it is laws put in place by Labour which are stopping her from bringing down immigration. A reminder that the Conservatives have been in power for 13 years. So where exactly are these long-term decisions? Are you sensing a brighter future from what you've heard during this Tory conference? And when Rishi Sunak says the thing which you, the British people, do not want is a general election, is he right?
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation, this is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 7 o'clock, the Immigration Minister has told LBC previous Conservative governments are to blame for migration being too high. It follows claims by the Home Secretary that Tories have previously been too squeamish to tackle the issue. Speaking on Tonight with Andrew Marr, Robert Jenrick says legal migration should come down.
Well, I feel that, and I think Suella would agree, that there were wrong choices taken when we left the European Union. By Boris Johnson and his administration, and that has led to far too many people coming into the country, and that we now need to correct those. We are in the process of doing so. We made a big reform earlier in the year with respect to the dependence of students.
During her speech at the Conservative Party conference, Suella Braverman claimed open borders is a luxury belief. Northern Ireland Secretary Chris Heaton-Harris has told LBC he couldn't agree with that.
We've always had decent levels of migration to this country. I believe it's always added to, it's always been a benefit to this country. And what my constituents are most worried about, without a shadow of a doubt, is the number of people entering this country illegally.
The Conservative chair of the London Assembly, Andrew Boff, was ejected from the hall during the Home Secretary's speech. He said he was worried some of the remarks were portraying the party as homophobic and transphobic. Former Justice Secretary Robert Buckland told Andrew Marr he felt they could have been worded better.
To single out LGBT issues in that way and to ignore the real persecution that millions of people of LGBT orientation are facing across the world is a very difficult and dangerous path to take.
The Prime Minister has rejected claims arguments over HS2 is overshadowing the conference in Manchester. A number of Labour metropolitan mayors are warning investors are already pulling out of Northern England due to uncertainty. Rishi Sunak is widely expected to confirm plans to scrap the leg between Manchester and Birmingham in his speech tomorrow. Former Manchester United footballer and now businessman in the city, Gary Neville, has told LBC it's unthinkable.
We rely upon the transport links to ensure that we connect our cities, and the idea of not connecting it from a symbolic point of view is just really, it's about levelling up. I mean, they've done everything but level up.
London's mayor says this week's suspended tube strike shows what can be achieved when politicians engage with unions. Members of the RMT are working on the London Underground were due to walk out tomorrow and Friday. That's been called off following significant progress with negotiations in the dispute over working conditions and jobs. Michael Kill is CEO of the Nighttime Industries Association. He's told LBC News that the news has come too late for some businesses.
For us, I mean, with this late notice would not make that much difference, and with ASLEF still continuing, there will still be considerable challenges around transport, not only for people getting to the businesses, but also for staff getting to and from work.
Train drivers with the ASLEF union are still due to walk out tomorrow. And parts of the UK could be as hot as Ibiza this weekend. It's expected to reach around 26 degrees Celsius on Sunday in London and the southeast. In the city, the FTSE 100 has closed down 40 points at 74.70. The pound buys $1.20 and €1.15. LBC weather: outbreaks of rain in Scotland tonight, which could reach Northern Ireland. A few showers expected in other parts of the west, but mostly dry elsewhere. A low of 6. Staying largely dry in the south tomorrow with sunny spells. Cloudy with outbreaks of rain moving in from the west further north. A high of 19 degrees. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Amelia Cox.
Right, guys, it's getting dark. You can see through my window that it is getting dark. See, I'm going to take Max out shortly. So, goodbye from me. See you later.